This is the all-new BMW 7 Series, the flagship vehicle for the BMW brand. Yes, they do a bunch of SUVs now. X7, there's going to be a new XM coming out at the end of the year too, but the 7 Series is still at the top of the food chain for BMW. It's their most important halo car. They say that, and I say the new one actually looks quite good. Maybe it's like the frog getting boiled in hot water or something, but I really am starting to come around to these more aggressive, assertive-looking BMW front ends. Now, I am here at the Villa d'Este in Lake Como. It's a hard life, but this is where the car's been revealed to the public for the first time, and this one's actually an i7. I've called it the 7 Series, and that's because BMW considers the i models of conventional cars to be part of that series. So the i7 is a 7 Series. This is the i7 xDrive 60. Plenty of power, but there is an M version coming called the i7 M70, and that will drop sometime next year. The whole range will drop in Australia sometime next year with petrol, plug-in hybrid, and the i7, which is fully electric. 5 years in the making, in development. It was going to be a fully electric car from the start, but the outside is one thing, the powertrain strategy is another. The interior is a sight to see in this car, and that's why we're going to start in the back for this first walk around of the new 2023 BMW 7 Series and i7. Make sure to hit subscribe down below and the notification bell. The new 7 Series looks pretty good outside, I reckon. You can always disagree with me in the comments and we can lock horns. But BMW actually designed this car from the interior first. They finished the interior and then they moved on to the exterior. And the back was designed to have what BMW are calling shy technology. So it's technology that you only see when you want it. For instance, when you want to watch Netflix, which is why we've got a 31-inch 8K screen that folds down from the roof. We've also got probably the best Bowers Wilkins stereo ever fitted to a BMW for a real surround sound theatre effect here in the back. So if you're an executive that doesn't really like to fly domestically and you'd prefer to be driven in an all-electric car with zero tailpipe emissions, this is a pretty cool setup. It's also an extremely comfortable setup because these seats are just awesome. You've probably noticed the material already, which is not a leather. It's actually cashmere. I much prefer sitting on it. It's boiling today in northern Italy, 32, 33 degrees outside and very still. And yet the interior of this i7 with the cashmere option is perfectly cool and temperate. Leather actually doesn't have great thermal properties. It's difficult to cool. A textile like cashmere is so much nicer, and of course less animal products are used as well, which is a big deal in the 2020s. Still leather on the back of the seat though, which is kind of interesting, but there is a leather-free option completely called Veganza, which you can get on the seats, but I would go the cashmere. Now, we've got touchscreens in each of the doors here in the back. That controls the screen and it controls this amazing lounge mode. More legroom here than business class, basically. This is where you'd want to do a long distance trip for sure. We've got full climate controls back here, lovely armrest here, wireless charging for your smartphone, and beautiful Alcantara headlining too. But it's not only for the people in the back, because the front seat actually introduces an all-new concept for BMW. The interior of the new 7 Series is in some ways reminiscent to the cabin in the iX, but it actually pushes the design forward even further. We've got this gorgeous organic surfacing up here on the dash in open pore wood, and that's reflected in other secondary surfaces around the 7 Series too. Grey leather steering wheel, stitched hub, beautiful switch gear. It all just elevates the new 7 Series a little bit above both the iX, but also significantly above the outgoing 7 Series in terms of perceived luxury. Down here, we still have the iDrive controller. Great to see that being renewed for another generation in crystal as well, so really quite a nice piece to use. This is a touchscreen running BMW's OS 8. This is the curved display, 12.3 inches in front of the driver, 14.9 inches in the center. Bowers Wilkins Diamond stereo, of course, only the best in terms of hi-fi. Crystal controls here on the door as well to change the position of the seat, but even more controls for the seat in the screen for things like massage, lumbar, and the power adjustable bolsters, which BMW are famous for. Because at the end of the day, this is a BMW. It's also meant to be a driver's car, even though clearly the focus for the 7 Series is now on the back seat. Now, we're not able to drive it today and launch it basically off this stand and just into the lake, which is probably a good thing. We will be driving it towards the end of this year or maybe early next year, depending on when it lands in Australia, in the variety of combinations, including petrol and the fully electric i7. Moving around the back now of the BMW 7 Series, and it's not immediately familiar. That's because the number plate has actually been moved down compared to the last several generation of 7 Series models. It's a simplified rear end. I really quite like it though. Pretty sure this is Oxide Grey II. If so, it really suits the car. Either way, it's kind of this sort of gold, bronzy grey. Really like that. i7 xDrive 60 badging at the back. Now, interestingly, the short wheelbase has been scrapped. There's now only a long wheelbase 7 Series. That's this car, of course, but the way it's been designed from scratch is to not make it look a little bit awkwardly long, as I think some long wheelbase full-size sedans tend to look. So S-Class, A8, you can still get those cars in short or long. Lexus LS is only short. The BMW 7 Series is now only long, and it's only a sedan. There's no touring version of the 7 Series. Very conventional car. Most customers who buy this are driven, and why wouldn't you be driven when the backseat is that good? So that's a first look at the 2023 BMW 7 Series in i7 xDrive 60, guys, in this luxury spec. Beautifully specified car, this one, and it certainly makes you think that there's a good future for the 7 Series. A lot more people want SUVs, but there's still a small luxury market that want a conventional limousine-style car, and that's what the 2023 7 Series is all about. Looking forward to driving it in a few months' time, perhaps a little bit longer depending on when it drops in Australia, but first impressions are pretty solid. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. While you're there, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, thanks for watching Chasing Cars.